Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi, Barakatuh. Today, insha'Allah, we are together continuing lesson number 6, which we already started in our previous recording. We're going to take part number 2 today, and we are talking about the elevated letters. So let us start. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wa bis-salah ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. These are the elevated letters, that they are at all times elevated. They are gathered in khussa, da, tin, qidh. It's the kha, sad, dad, ghain, ta, qaf, and dha. Last time we talked about the kha and the ghain, and today we are going to talk about the 4 letters that share the same character, which is called itbaq, and they share the same thing, and they are called huruful itbaq. And I'm going to show you what is the meaning of itbaq and why are they elevated, all of them, the 4, and there's no other letters that have this character except them. And these are the sad. They share the same head. If you can recognize this, the sad, dad, ta, and dha. While the ra, sometimes it's elevated, sometimes not. And the lam, in the name of Allah, we are going to keep it for another recording, insha'Allah. And then we have also the qaf that we are not going to mention today. So let us go further and let us see how these letters are pronounced. These letters are pronounced by a rising of the whole tongue, touching the back of the upper jaw teeth all around. Let me explain. This tongue here, all this edge of the tongue rises upwards to touch the back of the upper teeth from here, all this around at the back of these teeth, all the way around. The tongue rises up and touches the back of the upper jaw teeth all around. And this is called itbaq. You know, itbaq means something closes on another thing. And this is what's happening. The tongue, by its rising and touching all the round part of the upper teeth, it's closing against the upper jaw. And if we have a look here at the way these letters are drawn, they actually symbolize the shape of the exit. If this is considered the upper jaw, and this is considered the tongue, so this is how it looks like. The tongue closes against the upper jaw. And also, we recognize that there's an empty space inside, and this is what's making the enlargement, tafkhim, of the letters. All the 4 letters have the same shape, and all the 4 letters are pronounced in almost the same way. Okay, so last time we mentioned that the kha and the ghain and also the qaf, actually, when they are elevated, the throat narrows, the furthermost part of the tongue rises up, and the middle part of the tongue takes a concave shape. And in this case, in the case of these 4 letters, there's another reason for the sound of these letters being elevated, and that is the whole closure of the upper part making this elevating sound. So this is how these letters are pronounced in general. So we say as. As we all know, we are going to make a sukoon sad, sukoon dad, sukoon ta, sukoon dha, and because in the Arabic language we cannot start pronunciation with a sukoon letter, then we take a helping aid. We get a helping letter with a movement, and let us say a hamza with a fatha, and let us pronounce the sad sukoon. So we say a, as, and this is the sad sukoon. If I don't elevate it, if I don't pronounce it the way it should be, it's going to be a sin. It's going to be as. But by elevating the tongue, it will sound elevated. Thus, this is the sound of the letter sad. Else, leaving a small opening at the front of the tongue here to make this whistling sound. The same here, al, but we do not leave anything opened. So this is the sound of the dod. And by the way, the Arabic language is called the language of the letter dod, because this sound, this letter does not exist in any other language. So we say al, it runs, the sound runs inside the mouth. Al. And then we have the ta, al, which have something called qalqala when it's sukoon, but al, al. Can you hear this elevated sound? And it's because that this tongue rises up, touches the back of the upper teeth, all around the jaw, the upper jaw, and it causes this sound. Al. And then we have the letter va. Al. The tip of the tongue, or the whole tongue rises, but the tip of the tongue touches the edge of the upper two teeth. Al. Al. Okay? So all these four letters are elevated, are huruf mufakhama. Those three letters are pronounced in the same way, but the difference is that the letter la, the whole tongue rises to touch the, as we mentioned before, the back of the upper teeth all around. Al. But we use the tip of the tongue touching the edge of the upper two teeth, the incisors. Those two teeth, which are called the incisors, the tip of the tongue touches the edge of both those teeth. When we pronounce the letter la, the whole tongue rises while the tip of the tongue touches the edge of the upper two teeth. But pronouncing the letter tha and dhal, the tongue does not rise. It's just the tip of the tongue that touches the edge of the upper two teeth. So the tongue is opened, while in the letter la, the tongue is closed. It's closing against all this area. So here we say f, allowing the air to flow, while in the letter dhal, there's no air flowing, although it is pronounced in exactly the same way, but the closure of the tip of the tongue against the edge is far more than in the tha. So we say az. Okay? But here we are talking about the letter la, which is elevated. We're going to take some examples here. And now we know the letters that are elevated are those four letters. And we also know that the ghain, the kha, and the qaf are elevated, and also the ra, fatha, ra, dhamma. So let us see here how we are going to pronounce those words. We have 9 words here, and let us see the technique of pronouncing the elevated letters beside the lowered letters. Al-Huruf al-Mufakhama, Al-Huruf al-Musta'liya, and Al-Huruf al-Mustafila, that are read lowered. They do not, the sound doesn't fill the mouth, okay? So here we have a sad, it's one of the elevated letters, and it has a dhamma. So we say su. What about the dal? It is not, right? So we say sudu, do. The common mistake is elevating the dal, making it a dad sound. So it becomes sudu, do. Why is that? Because I did not lower the tongue. The tongue is elevated here, closing against the upper jaw. While in the dal, we don't need this, okay? So by keeping the tongue elevated upwards, we pronounce a dad instead of the dal, and this is not correct. So we say so, and then I go to the dal. So do. The ra here is elevated. When we talk about the ra, we're gonna say why is it elevated. Let's take this word. The ta is the elevated letter. But is the ha elevated? No. So we are going to say ta ha ha. Again, ta ha ha. 2 counts for the alif and 2 counts for the alif. Ta. What if I elevate the ha? It's going to be ta ha ha. It's a common mistake also. Make sure not to do this. Ta ha. Let's have a look at this one. The elevated letter is the dha. Although, in spite, it's with a kasra and a ya after it, but still it is elevated. One of the level of elevations. We are not taking this now. We are going to take it, insha'Allah, in the articulations and characteristics of the letters. But here, in this level, we are giving a general idea so that we read Quran in a way that is acceptable and beautiful. So here, what is the letter that's elevated? The letter dha. Is the ayn elevated? No. So we say a, dhim, dhim, azim. The common mistake also is elevating the ayn. We say azim, filling the mouth with the letter a, but we don't have a letter a actually. It's a. So we say azim. What about this here? The letter dha is elevated, but nothing else is. So we say lu, and then lumatin, lumatin. Let's connect. Volumatin, volumatin. Make sure don't say volu. Lu is not correct. Volumatin. Here, yuhitu, yuhitu. Sometimes it's pronounced as a ta. Yuhitu, tu. It's not a ta dhamma, it's a ta. Tu. Yuhitu. What about here? The letter dad. It's the only letter that's elevated in this word. So we say da. What about the hamza fatha? It's not elevated, so it's pronounced a. A, da, a. Okay? And don't say a, da, a. Like the ayn here, we pronounced it elevated. Azim. This is not correct. And not even here. It's a, da, a. Okay? What about here, this letter dad? The letter dad is elevated. Do, it has a dhamma, do, but anything else is not. Wadu, waduhaha, waduhaha. What if I said wadu, wadu? It's the same mistake here. I elevated the waw. Why do we do this? Why do we elevate the letter that comes before the elevated letter? Because it's something like when I see the elevated letter, I get ready from before. So I say wa, I say ah, I say ah. But let us adjust our pronunciation. This waw is never elevated. So we say wa, opening sideways a little bit for the fatha. Wa, duhaha. What about this word? The elevated letter is the ta. Ta'amin. Do we say ta'amin? No. It's ta'a because the ayn fatha is a, like here. A. And here the same thing. A. Ta'amin. And the last word here is si, the sad kasra. Si. Si. It has a whistling sound. Si. What about the ba? Is it elevated? No. So we don't say ba. It's ba. Let's connect. Basirin. Ba. What about saying it basi? Ba. What did I do? I elevated the ba. So the way to adjust the reading regarding elevated letters and lowered letters is cut the letters separately, pronounce them separately, and then join them together. So ba fatha is ba, sad kasra si. Some people would say si, so make sure it's not a sin. It's a sad, but with a kasra. It's the elevation sounds as though it's not elevated enough, but it is actually. Si. So we say basirin here. A, da, and then I connect. A, da. If I don't do this, I'm going to elevate the hamza. I'm going to say a, da, adi. Okay? So make sure the dal here coming after the sad, I would elevate it, making it a dad, and that is not correct. So what do I do? The solution is pronounce each letter separately and then join them together. Okay? So this was just, examples of letters that has elevated letters beside non-elevated letters and how we mix them together sometimes. Okay? So this was also regarding those 4 letters, huruf al-itbaq. Insha'Allah, next time we continue lesson number 6 with more elevated letters. I thank you so much for your attendance and your attention. If you find these videos beneficial to you, kindly subscribe, share with others so that you can, share the knowledge. And if you are interested so that anyone can listen to you, I'm ready to listen to anyone who would like to have a 3-session. We book a time. My email is written at the beginning of the slides. So just send me an email and we can book a time to assess your reading. And it's a 3 times assessment, insha'Allah. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you in the next recording. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.